a few different things that came together to make me join the Communist Party. I had been politically active before that. I'd been involved with environmental groups. I was leaning towards anarchist philosophy, but I found anarchist organising methods counterproductive. And I found more and more I was starting to understand that there is a deeper root problem for a lot of other issues. I mean, in Australia, I had campaigned on climate change initiatives, on Aboriginal rights, on refugee rights, and lots of other things. But I started to see that there were connections between them, but that still wasn't quite enough on its own. Part of it was that I lost a series of arguments. First, I lost an argument with a capitalist, a rich man who owned a business, and I realised he was still wrong, but I didn't know as much as I thought I did about economics because I wasn't able to address his arguments. So I realised I needed to educate myself more, and I started reading, different left-wing economic schools of thought, including Keynesianism or Thorstein Veblen's institutional economics. But when I started reading about Marxism, that made the most sense. The other aspect of it is the other arguments that I lost were with communists, and they were right about those arguments. I wasn't losing those arguments because I didn't understand. I was losing because my position was wrong. And so that led me to correct my position. They talked a lot about geopolitics, and I realised that pretty much everything I thought I'd been taught about the rest of the world was wrong. The Western countries were not some kind of grand democratic mission trying to save the world from tyrants. And the countries that were being attacked by the US and its allies were not just a series of dictatorships whose people needed to be rescued from their governments. The world is a lot more complex, and there's a lot of noble things happening outside the West. So all of these things kind of came together. I started to educate myself by reading Marx, Engels, Lenin, and then it just became clear you can't be a communist on your own. So I had to find a party. Communism is not a popular ideology in Australia. There has been a lot of very successful anti-communist propaganda, hostile reactions to the idea of communism. We need to explain a lot to get through all the misinformation. The propaganda that I mentioned earlier means that most Australians don't really know what communism is. They just know that it's bad. They think that it's about lots of repression. They don't know anything about addressing poverty. China's successes have done a lot to improve the perception of communism among certain groups of young Westerners. There are still many who remain very hostile, but so some of those people seek out the party on their own. But by and large, our work has to be about political campaigning. We need to find ways to achieve things that actually improve the lives of ordinary working class Australians, and thereby prove our merit to them, to prove that our philosophy is one that's worth engaging with. And in that way, they can be mobilised. A lot of this takes place through union work, but other times it can also involve community campaigning, like leading a neighbourhood in a campaign to avoid or to prevent the privatisation of a local park, for example. Or some of our comrades in New South Wales recently ran a successful campaign to prevent the local post office from being closed. All of these kinds of things, these small wins, help to build our credibility, to draw people closer to the party. And then once we have achieved things with these smaller wins, then we have the power to start tackling bigger issues.